Goodness gracious me, welcome to the first annual Pinky Awards. I'm your host, Butterek. You can call me Danny. Tonight's show is all about music. Yes, it's the Pinky Music Awards. We got a good show for you all tonight. Pinkies are going out across 15 categories. Every nominee is a winner. These artists deserve proper shoutouts for what they've put out this year. Make sure to stay tuned through the week for more of our first ever annual Pinky Awards week. Pinky's up for tonight's awards. Let's get to our first set of winners. Our first category is not really relevant to 2024, but the past. Song Discoveries of the Year. Our first winner is Memento Mori by Architects. It's a great metalcore song with a cutting, slow opener and samples of an Alan Watts speech, and it just hits so hard. It's long, but it's very much worth it. Our next winner is Intellectual Greed by Breakins. The song is sort of emo pop, hyper pop song, and it's super catchy. I love the way his voice works onto this track as a vocal instrument. It's very pleasing, and it's just such a fun song. Our third winner for the Discovery of the Year is Gojira's Flying Whales. The song samples actual whale sounds, but it's a very great metal track, and it is sort of relevant to today's political climate and just overall social climate, and I find this song to be beautiful and killer. Next we have Mara by Leatherhead. This is an indie track. It's sort of emo, sort of mathy, but it's just a beautiful song, and it breaks down very beautifully, and I think if you're into math rock, I think you should definitely check it out. And our last Song Discovery of the Year winner is You Will Be Held Accountable for Your Actions by Shin Guard. This is a screamo band, but this song is very laid back at the start. It's a little jazzy. There's some sax going on, and it's very pleasing to the ear, and then it really hits you when it starts to break down and he starts to scream his emotions, and it's just a beautiful song. Our next category is Album Discovery of the Year. Again, this is about the past. Our first winner is Kolma by Buckethead. Of course, Buckethead has a massive catalog of music, but Kolma is just an essential album. It's very chill, beautiful, vibrant, a lot of acoustic work, and it's an album he made to appeal to his mother. It's something he thought that she would enjoy while recovering from cancer, and I think it's a very beautiful album. Next we have Girl with Fish by Feeble Little Horse. I was a little late to this album, of course, but the melodies are so beautiful, and the vocals are they just fit and mix so well with the sort of noisy pop, noisy rock sound. Next we have Nothing Makes Sense Without It by Kind of Like Spitting. This is an emo album, and the songs are just so beautiful with their acoustic sound mixed with some string instruments like violas, and it's just a beautiful album. Next we have Who Is Malcolm by Purple Foxtown. This is a nice sort of fantastical, it's very fantasy based, I'd say, psych record by I think they're a prog band. Well, from Prague, not a prog band. They're a psych band. It's just really nice sonically, and I love the way the vocals are sort of, I want to say dorky, and there's just like nice instrumentation and monologues, and there's nice strings as well. Finally, we have Harmlessness by The World is a Beautiful Place, and I Am No Longer Afraid to Die. Yet another emo album, but this album is so beautiful, and I just, it really hits me emotionally. If you like Midwest emo or emo music, this is for you, or you probably already know about it, so I guess listen to everybody else and me. Okay, time for actual 2024 awards. First, we have Cover Art of the Year. Our first winner of this award is Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish. I love the cover so much. The way she's just floating in the water, it's very reminiscent of one of my favorite albums of all time, Titanic Rising by Wise Blood. And of course, the sound of the album actually kind of works with that theme in the same way that Wise Blood's album does. They kind of go in tandem with each other, I think. Next we have Absolute Elsewhere by metal band Blood Incantation. This album artwork is just stunning. Like, look at it. It's so colorful in all the right places. The pyramid is awesome. It's so like grounded in what we know on Earth mixed with like otherworldliness. It's just amazing. Next we have Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay. Of course, this is an iconic album cover from this year. The way the disc is being inserted into her head, it's just so jarring and so bizarre, just like Magdalena Bay and their sound and just their aesthetic, but it's also so fitting of the album. Next we have Life Till Bones by Oso Oso. I love this cover, just a great sense of the title of the album mixed with just the sound. I feel like goes along with this album cover, the way it's sort of stripped back and like it's almost like they took their sound and brought it to its core and it's just bones, but it's so beautiful and it works so well. And then finally, for this Pinky Award, we have All Born Screaming by St. Vincent. Of course, St. Vincent is on fire on this cover, and it's just killer, and I love it. Okay, our next Pinky Award category is Live Performance of the Year. Our first winner of this is Billie Eilish with Birds of a Feather on Saturday Night Live. I got to watch it live when it aired, not in person. I don't know why I led on with that, but it was a great performance. I loved the aesthetic with the clouds. It just worked so well, and of course, her vocal performance was amazing. Next we have Chaperone's live debut with The Giver on Saturday Night Live. Amazing that she's diving into a little bit of country while also sounding just like another Chaperone song, and it's a very beautiful performance. Next we have Gojira, Marina Viati, and Victor Lemons' Olympics performance of Mea Culpa a Saira. This performance, I think, is honestly one of the best cultural moments of the decade so far. I just think the fact that Gojira played the Olympics at all, but the way they staged it with the actual building where Marie Antoinette lived and was captive, it's just such a beautiful performance. Next we have St. Vincent's performance of Broken Man on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Just the way she works with the camera, in this performance, while also giving just another great St. Vincent performance. It just really brought me a great sense of joy just watching her run around the stage. And then finally we have Weezer and Kelly Clarkson singing Say It Ain't So on the Kelly Clarkson Show. I thought Kelly Clarkson's voice really mixed well with this performance, and just Say It Ain't So. And I would love to see them go back on the show for a future Weezer anniversary. Next category is Comeback of the Year. This is for bands and artists that didn't release an album for like the past like 5 or so years, like in the 2020s, but just came back and are hitting the road again this year. Number 1, we have Cursive, of course, great indie rock band. Tim Kasher's voice and just the aesthetic that Cursive has been consistently performing over and over, while also being fresh and just a lively band is awesome. And then next we have Glass Beach, of course. They dropped their first album since their first album. They dropped their second album, but I loved their first record, and I just love the way they came back this year and really asserted their presence in the music world. And then next we have Jessica Pratt. Just the way she kind of came back with her album and the press, and just the way she sort of reinvented herself in the music world, especially like I think she was featured on a rap song. I forget which artist it was, but I think she's really living it up now. Next we have MGMT, of course, the duo, amazing duo. I think their most recent project and the press surrounding it, and just like the overall aesthetic that MGMT kind of stripped back and are just like sort of enjoying being them. I really love it. And then next we have Opeth, the metal band. I really think that just coming back again with another great era and just great performances and great appearance as a band in the music world. Just amazing again. Our next category is Rock and Metal Song of the Year. Rock/metal Song of the Year. So yeah, our first winner is The Message, Tablet 1 by Blood Incantation. This is my favorite of their new record. I think it's a great black metal song, but it comes out with some great like sort of pop punky riffs, and it's just such a catchy melody to start and open with, while also being a great black metal song. Black death metal, just a mix of that sort of sound. And then next we have Julie's Stuck in a Car with Angels. This is the closer for their newest record, well, their debut record, and I think it's such a beautiful song. The way it starts off slow and builds up and breaks down into such an emotional wreck, and it turns me into such an emotional wreck. I just love this song. Next we have Daybreak by Paul Bearer. It's such an emotional doom metal song. Great vocal performance. It's very laid back, but then it's very cutting with its chorus, and it just brings me chills. Next we have Burn It Out by Sean Henry featuring Olivia O. This is great folky rock track. If you really dig Elliott Smith, I think you'll like this. It's just an all-around great tune to vibe out to. And then lastly we have Broken Man by St. Vincent. I think this is just such a killer rock track, very industrial, also having such a stunning vocal performance from St. Vincent. Our next category is Rap Song of the Year. First, we have Gal the Arsonist's Right Between the Eyes. I really like how sort of spacey and it's sort of laid back while also being very cutting and emotional in its performance. I just think it's a great song. Next we have Joey Valence and Braze, Like a Punk. I thought this was a very underrated track from their newest record, and I think it's just a really fun Beastie Boys-y type song. Next we have Dust Cutter by Quadeca. Quadeca's Scrapyard was an amazing project, and I think this opening track really made my year. It's one of my favorites of the year. It just puts me in a great mood, and it's a very emotional performance, and it's very, just the overall sound is so bizarre, but it's amazing. Next we have Tizo Touchdowns, Third Coast. This song is just super goddamn fun. It's a mix of R&B, rap, some pop elements, and just like, it's such a fun and joyful song, and a lot of people have already heard it, of course, and I think you should too if you haven't already. Next we have Noid by Tyler, the Creator. This is the opening lead single of Chromacopia, and I just really love the way that Tyler mixes his own sound with rock, and that sample is just amazing. Okay, next we have Pop Song of the Year. First we have Bodyguard by Beyonce. Of course, this was my favorite off of Cowboy Carter. It's just a fun track, and it's so catchy. I haven't been able to get it out of my head since. Next we have L'amour de ma vie by Billie Eilish. This is my favorite off of her new album. I just love the way it starts off very much like a Billie Eilish song, and then it bursts into this sort of electro-pop style song at the end, and it gets so fast, and I think it's amazing. Next we have Clairo's Add Up My Love. This is my favorite off of her newest album. It really hits me as a big fan of Sling, her last album, and it's just like, I feel like it goes in tandem with that sound, and it just like, it's the best representation of new Clairo. Next we have Killing Time by Magdalena Bay. This is hard to pick a song from this record, but I love Magdalena Bay and I love all their songs, but this song, it's just a very nice song to listen to, and I love the idea of like, why do we call it Killing Time? That's such a great like idea to explore in a song. And then lastly we have Cheerleader by Porter Robinson. This song off of his new album is just so catchy and so like, it kind of speaks to modern like fandom culture, and the way that fans sort of form their own parasocial relationships and know more about the artist than they know themselves. And I think it's a great like exploration of that sort of relationship. Next we have Song of the Year. We have, of course, Stuck in a Car with Angels again by Julie. I love this song, like I said. It's just such a great, emotional, and just cutting dark song. Next we have Killing Time, Magdalena Bay again. One of my favorite songs of the year, obviously, because it's in this category. Just another great song. Paul Bearer's Daybreak. I would say this is my favorite song of the year. I've nearly cried to it multiple times, TMI, but that's just me. Dust Cutter by Quadeca. amazing song. I can't get enough of it. It's always stuck in my head. And then, of course, Broken Man by St. Vincent. It's just, again, killer song. Next category is Emerging Artist / Band of the Year. So I'm just going to shout out some smaller artists and bands that I caught in the past year. First, we have Anatole Muster. Unsure if that's how I say that, but their music is kind of hyper poppy, electro pop mixed with accordion sounds. There's this awesome like math rock, Midwest emo type song with an accordion that they put out, and it's really awesome. Next we have Cow Tippers. I randomly discovered this new band over the past year, and I think their new EP Bite It is pretty awesome. They're a great band so far from that EP and what I've seen, and I'm pretty excited to hear more from them. Next we have Falling with Scissors, which is another metalcore band, but they're sort of glitchy, and I just love the way that their sound is so energetic and so harsh. But I really think that metalheads really need to tap in to Falling with Scissors. Next we have Girl Defeated. This is an amazing house music, EDM, electro pop duo making some killer beats, and I just can't get enough of them. I'm a ride or die for Girl Defeated. And then lastly we have Can't Be Jibbin'. I discovered their music on TikTok, and I actually fell in love with one of their songs. I believe it's called All Quiet, and it's just a really great poppy catchy song. Next we have Alternative Album of the Year. First we have Bright Eyes' 5 Dice All Threes. It's another sort of comeback record, but I think Bright Eyes really captured a lot of like their core sound in this album, and I hope they can keep on capturing that sound again and again for the future while also sounding just as fresh. Next we have Amama, AMAMA by Crumb. I love this band, little psychedelic band, dreamy pop, and I've been following this band for years, and it's great to see them settle into this really nice, soothing, peaceful sound while also exploring some emotional lyricism. Next we have The New Sound by Jordy Griep, of course. Post Black Midi split, Jordy Griep came out with The New Sound, which is an all-around great record with, again, so many new sounds and just fusions of jazz and Latin pop and just all these sort of elements that make Jordy Griep's songwriting into what it is. Next we have No Bones Sickly Sweet by Olivia O. She is one half of Lower Town, one of my favorite bands, but her record this year is just full of great emotional songs, great acoustic rock songs with just all around calming yet haunting aesthetics, I'd say. And then lastly for this category we have Twerp's Digital Nightmare. It's sort of funk rocky. I love Twerp and their music, and I think that this album is full of really nice dancey jams. Next category is Rock / Metal Album of the Year. First we have Foxing's self-titled album Foxing. This album is full of different sounds for this band. There's like slow, poppy sort of songs, but the really rock and like emo, and just punky elements just really strike a chord with me, and they really go hard. Next we have, of course, Julie, My Anti-Aircraft Friend, their debut record. It's exactly what I hoped out of Julie's first full album, and it's just full of dark sounds while also being so energetic, and just I can't get enough of this band. Next we have Inorganic Rice by black metal artist band Krallice. It's sort of it's very accessible, I'd say, for a black metal album, while also being true black metal. There's all sorts of spacey elements and like beeps and boops, but I just think the blend of sounds really makes it such an amazing album. And next we have Mind Burns a Lie by Pallbearer. Such a great doom metal album with such pleasing guitar work, and I love it. Lastly, we have All Bored Screaming by St. Vincent. Great industrial sounds, like I said, also mixed with jazz rock. Just another killer album by St. Vincent. And then next we have Rap Album of the Year. We have Childish Gambino's Atavista. It's his reworking of 3:15:20. He redid all the songs and came out with new ones for this record, and I liked it in its original form, but I think this is a much more complete, and I think honestly I prefer it over the other record he released this year, and I think he only improved upon already great songs. Gal the Arsonists and They Mine for Our Bodies, like I said, it's a really nice blend of sounds. There's sort of spookiness to the sound and like distortion, while also being just a great rap record. Next we have No Hands by JVB, Joey Valence and Bray. Just great overall nerd rap album. Love these guys. Next we have Scrapyard by Quadeca. Such a great collection of songs that he couldn't fit in any other project, and I think he did such a great job of curating songs that kind of sort of feel like they go together in a way, even though they explore so many different sounds, and I just love it. And then of course we have Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator. Such a great album with jazzy elements, rocky elements, and so many corners left unexplored. I guess that's a weird way of saying it, but you know what I mean. Okay, next we have Pop Album of the Year. First we have Beabadoobie's. This Is How Tomorrow Moves. It's sort of rocky, but I think when I heard Beabadoobie was working with Rick Rubin, I got so excited, and I love the way her vocals come out on all these songs, and it's just a great follow-up to Beatopia. And then next we have Hit Me Hard and Soft, of course, by Billie Eilish. This is probably my favorite record by her so far. So many sounds explored, while also like some of her, I would say they are her best vocal performances yet. Next we have Charm by Clairo, sort of a soft rock, indie pop album, much like her other work, while also feeling like she's sort of settled into the sound, and it's beautiful. Next we have Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay, Mag Bay Forever. I've been a ride or die for them for years, and I just think this album is full of great pop sounds, and if you haven't listened to it, please do. You will like something, I guarantee. And then lastly, we have Smile by Porter Robinson. Such a great electro pop, hyper pop, all sorts of pop sounds in this record. while also being very fresh, very just amazing. I think it's a great follow-up to his last record. And then lastly, we have the category of Album of the Year. These are my 5 favorite albums of the year. And of course, the Pinky Awards go to Julie with My Anti-Aircraft Friend. Again, great rock, noise rock, shoegaze record. Next we have Imaginal Disc, Magdalena Bay. What can I say that I haven't said already and that everybody else hasn't said already? It's a beautiful pop record, and it's just so lively and amazing. And I was so thankful to see them perform these songs live this year, or months ago, I guess. Next we have Mine Burns Alive, Paul Bearer. Again, great doom metal album. While also just feeling very progressive and just full of just emotion. It's such an emotional record to me. And then Scrapyard by Quadeca, again, amazingly curated collection of songs with features by Break-Ins and Kevin Abstract. Just overall great record. And then finally, All Born Screaming by St. Vincent. I've been mentioning her in this whole video, but it's just a great record, and I think everyone should check it out. Alright, thank you all for watching the first annual Pinky Awards this week. This is all based in my personal taste and just showing off things that really interest me and I've been fixated on for the past year, and just so viewers can get to know me a bit better. But most importantly, I just want to shout out creators and artists alike, all of the works featured, and important associated links you can find in the description below. Please check them out and support these amazing people. I don't take credit for anything in this video. I'm just here to give credit to those who make things I could only dream of making. Thank you.